Hello and welcome back to my channel, and for this week's Witch Wednesday, we are talking about my favorite witch of all time. I've said similar things before, but this is my actual favorite witch because she's the OG. We're talking about the Wicked Witch of the West, okay? And I don't mean Idina Menzel, Defying Gravity, Elphaba. I'm talking 1939 Margaret Hamilton, Wicked Witch of the West, first movie in Technicolor, allegedly haunted set, the whole 9 yards. And for this video, this is probably the only one of the whole season we're taking out the liquid latex, because although I probably don't need a nose prosthetic, comedy, I did buy one, and it also has a chin, and the chin looks questionable. Look at the chin, it looks like a nutsack. But we're gonna do it anyway because she did have quite a chin and quite a schnoz. And I've always wanted to do this sort of like classic looking witch. So it's just what we're going to do. So I'm looking forward to it. I am going to be wearing my Adopted Familiar shirt through this whole video. I hope I don't get liquid latex on it because I do like it. And I figured it sort of worked with the theme because she has flying monkeys. Flying monkeys are available at your local humane society. Contact them for more information. I feel like every year on my channel I end up green somehow, whether it's Frankenstein, the Gill Man. Oh no! Has it completely solidified inside? I think my liquid latex has gone bad, so we'll throw this out. Let me see if I can find another one. Fear not, my friends, even when I am poor, even when I am destitute, I will always have a backup jug of liquid latex. I'm just glad that you found out that other one was bad before Spirit closed for the year. You know, so put the tape on the bad bottle so that I know which one is which. I hate when they don't put a little tab on it. How am I supposed to get in? Like that. There we go. See, that's how liquid latex is supposed to look. Okay, now we're actually starting this. So we're gonna put the chin on first because I'm really like aggressively not looking forward to that. And I want to stuff it with cotton, which is strange because I'm putting balls in the balls. I'm really not looking forward to just that. But it's what we're gonna do because without cotton, I'm afraid it's not gonna hold its ball shape. See. So that should be enough. Oh yeah, look at that. Now we're going to take out a triangle. And what we're going to do is we're just going to completely coat this with liquid latex. Now the instructions on the back of this prosthetic is actually from Party City, not Spirit Halloween, and it's from Cinema Secret's Woochie line, which is like a really great liquid latex line. But the instructions actually say to use Spirit gum. I'm not using Spirit gum. Spirit gum's way too hard to get off. Look at that. Have you ever seen a ball sack chin look better? I'm not going to worry so much about blending it underneath. Because you aggressively can't see it. Oh! So now we're going to put on the nose. Actually, you know what? I'm going to hold this here for a sec. I'm going to chat a little bit about The Wizard of Oz. So if you don't know me in real life, you might not know my history with The Wizard of Oz. The Wizard of Oz was my favorite movie when I was a kid, to the extent that I wore through 2 separate VHS tapes of it. And my older sisters were both, when they were younger, afraid of the Wicked Witch of the West and the Flying Monkeys, and I thought they were great. I love them. We should have known then what we know now about who I am as a person, but we didn't. But it's okay, you know, you live and you learn. For different years, for Halloween, I was Glinda, Dorothy, and of course the Wicked Witch of the West. And I just always loved her vibe. Okay, here's the thing. I don't see the Wicked Witch of the West as evil. Okay, first of all, she shows up to the function and immediately finds out her sister's dead. Okay? Then, okay, my sister's dead, at least maybe I'll inherit her cool shoes. Nope, just kidding. This pink bitch showed up out of nowhere, gave them to this girl none of us know, and I can't get them off her until I kill her. So now I have to be a murderer. And all I wanted was to inherit my dead sister's shoes. And somehow she's the bad guy. I don't know, man. I can't get this corner flap to stick down. I wonder why. So one of my favorite little fun facts about The Wizard of Oz is that Margaret Hamilton, who played the Wicked Witch of the West, she loved kids. And being the Wicked Witch of the West and being terrifying kind of ruined that because kids were terrified of her. And she spent essentially the rest of her life after the movie trying to convince kids that she wasn't scary. And I think she even did an episode of Mr. Rogers in an attempt to try to make kids not so scared of her. I don't know that it ever necessarily worked out for her, but I mean, credit where credit's due, she tried. She was also the victim of a very bad set mishap early on in... look at this. Early on in shooting. After she first arrives and meets Dorothy and all that, and she does her little, I'll get you, my pretty, and your little dog, too. And then she goes to, like, disappear, and she falls through the trap door, right? If you're watching the movie, there's this big burst of flames as she disappears, and all the munchkins go, ah! Those flames were not supposed to happen. And Margaret Hamilton caught fire, and she suffered, like, I'm tempted to say third-degree burns, but don't quote me on that, like, on her face and stuff, and she was out of commission for, like, 6 weeks, and they couldn't film with her. And then, get this, when she came back, there was another stunt they wanted. I completely destroyed this shirt, and I really like this shirt. There was another stunt they wanted her to do with the broom, right? And she wouldn't do it. She was like, nope, you're getting me a stunt double. I'm not doing it. And, I think it was when they're writing in the sky, surrender Dorothy, something like that. I think they wanted a closer up shot of her flying. And she said, no, I'm not doing that. I'd like to get a stunt double. And so they put the stunt double on the broom, they set it all up, catches fire. So, not that I'm saying I'm glad the stunt double caught fire, but it could have been Margaret twice. There's, of course, a lot of rumors about other terrible things happening on the set of The Wizard of Oz. Take from those what you will. I'm not sure I believe a lot of them, but those two are facts that actually did happen. And I knew about both of them already, but if you want to hear them from, like, actual first person, they are both discussed in the Shudder Cursed Films episode of The Wizard of Oz. I love the Wicked Witch of the West, and I love her in her own right, but it is worth mentioning that I obviously, as a music theater kid, love Wicked. I'm looking forward to the movie. I think it was fantastically cast. I know some people are stupid and think Ariana was a bad choice for Glinda. I disagree. I think she's a great choice. I think Cynthia Erivo's a great choice for Elphaba. And I will be there opening night to see it. See, okay, so I ended up having to put cotton in there to kind of smooth that spot. But, you know me. I love a good old-fashioned villain who doesn't have, what's the word I'm looking for? Motivation. They're just evil or bad for the sake of being evil or bad. And while I actually do think the Wicked Witch of the West is sort of, she's got a reason. She wanted the shoes. Her sister died, and then Glinda gave them to someone else. You know, I think she kind of does have a reason to be the way she is. But, I don't know. I just like a good old-fashioned villain the way that they are. I'm not of the belief that every villain needs a tragic backstory. Some people are just bad because they're just bad. And that's okay. So I'm just going to sit here and let these dry. I think I've done enough liquid latex. Oh, not at the top. Not at the top. I forgot about the top. Alright, at this stage in the process, I feel like I look more like Angelica Huston's witch in the 1990s classic The Witches. That would have been a great look to do in these Witch Wednesdays if I would have thought of it in time, because I would have needed these prosthetics, I would have needed an eyebrow piece, and I would have needed a good bald cap and some way to cover it to make it look like skin, but then also like a little hair. So maybe, now that idea is in my head, maybe we'll do that next year, but this is the thing at hand. We're doing the Wicked Witch of the West, and I moved. I put these away, but I still need them. So what we're going to do is we're going to take out my very old package of these little triangle sponges. This Wolfe Hydrocolor in the shade, what's it called? Oh, it's just green. I've had this for a very long time. If the opportunity ever arises for me to buy a new one, I will do that. But as of this point in my life, it has not. So the yellow is how you know it's dry. So any area that's a little bit white isn't completely dry, but I think it should be fine. And I'm not going to go all the way to the top of my forehead for two reasons. One, because we're going to put on a witch hat. And two, because I'm afraid if I get the green and the blonde parts of my hair, it will stain them. And I love you all, but not enough to have splotchy green. I still want to have neon green, but it's not easy being green. My little mirror is so dirty, I really should have cleaned it first. I looked up a couple pictures of the Wicked Witch of the West before we went into this video, and her lips, like, basically don't exist. They're the same green as the rest of her face. There's no outlining, there's no nothing. Cover my zit in green. You know, they say green is a good color corrector for red. I could have made that a little smoother. Oh well. So the secret is, don't swipe it on, pat it on. I'm having trouble getting it to take to the prosthetic, which is weird, because that's not really a trouble I've had in the past, as far as I can remember at least. Like, I have to make sure my ball sack is totally green. I'm struggling. So I think this is green enough. So what we're going to do now is quite simple. First of all, I did look at photos of her, like I said, and she had quite intense eyebrows. So this is my actual eyebrow pencil that I use for myself. But I think it's running out, so we're just going to, like, really go ham. Something like this, right? And then we're going to go into the only green eyeshadow palette I own, which is this Shein one. It doesn't even look like Margaret Hamilton is wearing, like, mascara. It looks like they just put a dark shade all over her lid and a light shade in some of her high points. So we're going to take my nice little NYX brush into this Hotel Key yellowy shade. It's not as yellow as I was hoping it would be, but it'll have to do. And then, you know what, we're going to take that same brush and go into Sweet Basil, which doesn't make any sense. Why is it called Sweet Basil? Something like that. So, this was me, for me, doing this as a costume. I would go way more glam than this. I would put on false lashes. I would do glitter, probably, if we're being honest. But that's not what they did back then, you know? And I really can't get this chin to stay green. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go get the witch hat. And then we'll come back and we'll finish off the video, okay? See you in a bit. How about a little fire, Scarecrow? I'm melting, oh, what a world, what a world. I can't really emote with these on, but this is my completed Wicked Witch of the West makeup. I obviously probably should have put the green on my arms and my neck, but I don't want to... Here's the thing, when you're in a wheelchair, washing makeup off is very hard, so this is all you get. I'm really struggling to keep the chin on. I have no idea why. It just wants to fall off. And I also had a really hard time getting any sort of green to stay on it, so it's not really the most evenly covered. The nose is better covered, but not the chin. But this is my hat. This is my face. Honestly, I think this is a look. I think it's a vibe. I think this is the me that I want to be. And the Margaret Hamilton original Wicked Witch of the West is probably one of my favorite movie witches of all time, if not my favorite. And when they did the Wicked Witch of the West on Once Upon a Time, they made her tagline, "Wicked always wins." And you know what? I like that. I'm going to implement that into my own life. Wicked always wins. I can get behind that. Anyway, thank you so much for watching this video. Make sure you give it a thumbs up. Make sure you subscribe if you have not subscribed already. And I will see you next time. Bye! Okay, so this is not how you're supposed to take off prosthetics. But I have to. Just rip it off. Like... I was sweating so much in there.